Alright, so I got a new camera. It is called the MGCool Explorer Pro, and I wanted to give it just a baseline test to see how many different environments I could put it into for lighting and color, and just kind of see how it works. So this morning I went on I say quick run, it was about 2.5, 3 miles, and I tried finding different lighting scenarios with shade and sun, direct sun, away from the sun, just to see how it captured movement versus stable objects. I also recorded at 4K 30 frames a second. I'm uploading in 1080p so that I could use the software to pan and zoom and just kind of see how far you can zoom in and how much panning you can do without losing too much quality. So here's just a quick video of my run with those tests, and I'll give you kind of a review at the end. So not only did I want to keep the camera stationary, but I also wanted to carry it with me. I'm using just a very small GorillaPod style tripod to run with it. I'm not incredibly happy with the stabilization, if there's any. It doesn't look like there is. So for running purposes, it's probably not the best handheld. As you can see here, I'm walking around with it a little bit and it just bounces so much. But still, ultimately, for a $50 camera, I'm not unhappy with it, because this is not the primary purpose of why I bought mine. So for me, this is not a deal breaker. This segment is a little bit better than the first with the handheld. I'm holding the camera directly, not on the GorillaPod, which seems to have helped a little bit. It's still not fantastic and still not something I would necessarily recommend doing. One thing that might help is if you were to put this on a like a body mount, something that actually connects to your chest, or maybe your head, or if you have a hat that you connect your camera to, it might be a little bit better. This is me trying to hold my arm steady while running, which might be part of the problem. But again, it's not my primary purpose why I bought it. So for me, this was just kind of a run through to see what it's capable of. My next video will be more of what it looks like when it's mounted to a car. That was actually my primary purpose for the purchase, and I'll let you know how that looks. But holding the camera directly definitely looks better than when I was holding it through the tripod. So overall, I'm actually quite impressed with the way this camera has worked so far. Again, this is day one, test one of owning it. I do primarily I'm going to tend to use this primarily on my car for some cruising with my car club, not so much for what I used it today, but I figure I'm gonna go running, and I wanted to get some video with it just to test anyway, and I'm quite pleased with it. There are other options within the camera where you can actually choose some of your coloring options, and you can change the exposure a little bit. So some of these shots could have probably been better. I just didn't spend the time to mess with it. I'll do a more in-depth actual review showing how to make those changes and to see what kind of effects they have. But for just a quick day one test, again, I'm very pleased, and I feel like this was a $50 well spent. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below, and I'll respond to them as quick as I can. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.